Hey, where's this in? You good? How are exams coming? How are exams coming along? Everybody cool? So, of course, we have the formula book for CSEC Maths with all the formula that you could purchase. We have the physics formula book for CSEC Physics with all the physics formula and definitions that you can purchase. I believe both of these going at like 100, not more than 100 TT, and you can WhatsApp the admin. I'll give you the number to get it just now. And introducing as well the AdMaths students. When is all the exam? AdMaths formula booklet. The student we do sleep over here. AdMaths formula booklet is on the inside, and on top of this, we have the question bank, which you're all familiar with, right? The question bank. Okay, so without further talk, let's get into some vectors and matrices. So the question bank is a book with all the practice questions that you need to practice for exam 7908813. WhatsApp this number to get your hands on any of those booklets, and you're gonna be inside. So let's get down into the questions. So this is January 2010, by January 2010. This is just a combination of all the vectors and matrices questions from 2010 straight up to 2021. We'll see how we can do. I have an AdMaths class starting 6. That's my first AdMaths class for those who are doing exams next year. If you're watching and you didn't sign up to our AdMaths class and you want to join the best, organize yourself. AdMaths starting for next year today. All right. If you missed today and you're coming next week, fine. So January 2010, question 13A vectors, 13A, back in the days when it had 13 questions. And before I start my live, I must big up the parrot in the background. Big up the parrot. Like, you see some parrot emojis. Big up the parrot in the background. I just choose to make noise when I go live. The figure below, not drawn to scale, shows the points O, A, B, which have vertices, blah, 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 expressed in the form A and B, the vectors OB, OA plus OB. I mean, I had my first maths class yesterday, but it's a while since I do maths before that class. Must be out at 2 weeks. All you must see think as on a break, but it's real working in between. Right now, I work more than ever. Expressing the form OB. What do you really want me to do here, boy? O to B, O to A, O to A plus O to B. So just add vectors, midpoint of AB. Easy man thing, man. Easy man thing. If you're seeing it blurry, you need to raise the settings on your side. Let me just take a little pause and tell you all to press like on the video now. Press like on the video, let YouTube algorithm do its thing and send it out to everybody. So nobody can say, oh God, I'm still live. Right. So OB, O to B, O is 0, 0. That's the origin. It's like you could imagine the x-axis and y-axis running there. So OB is just straightforward. You don't need to do any work in with this. You just need to state this. OB would be the position, is a position vector of B. So you could just write it like -1, 4. If you know your vectors thing, if you know your vectors life, if I tell you a point is here and the point is called M, and I tell you the coordinates of the point is 7, 13, then the position vector OM, meaning start from here to that, you just change it like this, 7, 13. I mean, if you didn't know that, you're in a dangerous place in life right now, but I'm helping you out here. Maybe maybe, perchance, you still make it. So OB is -1, 4. OA and OB. So we have OB already. We want no. There's an admin from the student of this important. Oh jeez. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, boy. So OA is 50. OA is 50. Let's write it like a vectors now, man. A little rusty, a little rusty. O is 50, and OB, there's OB here. So if that's a OA plus OB, is it that you just want us to add these two things together? Negative 1, 4 plus 50. That's what we're looking at. We get a little 4, 4. Well then, Asha Smith and Jaden Surratt. OGs and ages. If it blurry, I need to have a little disclaimer on the underneath here. If the thing come out blurry, raise the settings on your side because it's coming across 1080p. So if it's looking blurry, raise the settings on your side. Somebody could just write that. And okay, why is in the chat if you've seen it crystal clear? Taking a little while to get in the group. I want to make sure everything before we continue. Nice. Crystal clear. So if it blurry on your end, it's a you problem. You need to raise the settings on YouTube. It's real simple. If M is XY is the midpoint of AB. So you need to find AB and find the midpoint. A few ways we can do that. Okay, so we can just straight up use the midpoint formula if we feel in coordinate geometry-ish. Or we find the midpoint. Midpoint is one of the weirdest formulas in mathematics. The midpoint formula looks like this. You say x1 plus x2 over 2. And it's weird because there's a comma in it. y1 plus y2 over 2. So it's basically the mean. You're finding the mean. Nothing to. It's the mean, right? You're finding this plus that. So you could kind of do it in your mind. You know? This plus that, you get 2. You get 2. And what we get? 2, 2, 2, 2. Anybody get that? All right, let's do it. You can. So we get negative 1 plus 5 because it's like x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Right, yeah. And y1 is 4 plus 0. That's like y1 plus y2. Are you okay? Are you seeing it? Find it coming across a little. The comments now, finally sticking with the comments. So 2, 2. That's that. Right? 2, 2. So the answer is what people doing in some of the exams. Okay, let me not drop the quality of the stream into that kind of talk. In the figure below, not drawn the scale OE, EF, and MF are straight lines. The point H is such that EF is equal to 3EH. I read in this and I'm really taking in anything, but I will continue reading, such as the way. The point G is such that MF is equal to 5MG. See, these things is be a little tricky now. Be a little tricky. M is the midpoint of OE. This is a lot of information, but what year this was? 2010. 2010 students that do it earlier. The vector OM is V and EH is U. Okay, what next? Write in terms of U and or V an expression for HF. H start here and F start there. Okay, we have something to work on this already. Because we know that EF is 3 times E to H. So it's like E to H, E to H, E to H. All right. So EF is 3EH. Which one they give me? They give me 1. So it's some kind of division scheme here or something. We want to find HF. So HF is easy man thing. HF is easy thing. Because this is like splitting into 2 and there's another U there and there's another U there. So from the diagram, using our thinking caps on, we could say that H to F must be 2 of E to H, which we already know. So it's 2U. Why people saying 3U? Had to be 2. E to F. There are 3 U's inside here. So H to F is 2/3 of the way. And that is the way. And it was a common U, not a capital U, right? Easy jam. And the next question, MF. MF not looking too pretty now. MF looking like it could be easy too, man. It could be easy. M is the midpoint. M is the midpoint of OE, right? So look at this. So we want MF, right? We just highlight him. We want MF. Start at M and then F. We know this part. With vectors, you're kind of taking the alternate route. This is 3U. And we know this little piece here have to be a next V because it's halfway. So V and V. So therefore, MF is equal to V plus 3U. And that is it. And the RAM performing, Jarrell, everybody ready for the thing. Michelle, well done. All right, so what you could do now to increase the volume, the traffic on the stream, take a screenshot and post it on your Instagram. Sorry, my phone right next to the mic. Take a screenshot and post it on your Instagram. Okay. O to H. This looked like it was hard, but it wasn't that hard. So O to H, if we put on our thinking caps again, hopefully we didn't take it off. O to H, we had a V there, O to H, you do the 2 V's now and you do the U. So O to H is simple. O to H is simply 2V plus U. And what this one was? V plus 3U. And what this one was? 2U. Oh gosh. Show that the originals is equal to 3/5 of 2V plus U. In other words, OG is 3/5 of OH. OGs. So how are we going to show that? What do you have in mind? What all you have in mind? Show that OG is 3/5. I find that was a little rough for a CSEC student there, but so we need to show that OG is 3/5 of the way of OH basically. We have V there, we have V there, we have U there, we have U there, and we have U there. We know that OH is 2V plus U. Well, by yourself, it will be kind of tough to figure out what really going on here, really. But they give you a little something to work with. MF is equal to 5mg. Is this diagram geometrically correct? That is my question. But we can work out the answer, right? MF is equal to 5mg. So this whole MF is 5 of this guy. So we could work out what mg is, because mg is 1/5 of MF. Tell me if that making sense so far. mg is 1/5 of MF. They said that. And we know that MF, did we do MF already? I feel like we do MF already, you know. Yeah, MF is V plus 3U. V plus 3U. So MG is 1/5 of V plus 3U. That making sense to you all so far? Everybody seeing clearly now? Oops. This is what I really wanted to do. No, yeah, this. So MG is 1/5 of MF, and MG is 1/5 of this, which is what MF is. So we leave that, and we want to get O to G. We wanted to get O to G. So O to G is the same as O to M from O to M, then M to G. O to M plus M to G. O to M is V, and M to G, we just figured out this is 1/5 V plus 3U. Yeah? So now we just need to do a little swiggle daggle and see what's going on here. Hopefully good things happen. So when I get this V and 1/5 V, let me expand it out and show you. I didn't mean to write all of this in a red pen, and I just only wanted to use the headings for red pen. So V plus 1/5 V plus 3/5 U. Now you must understand that if you expand this, 1/5 by V is 1/5 V. 1/5 by 3U is 3/5U. And V plus 1/5 V is 6/5V plus 3/5 U. So that's what OG is. And they say to prove let's write it again. OG is 6/5V plus what it was 3/5 U. And what was the initial thing? Oh, show that OG. Oh no, they just wanted you to show that OG is 3/5. So if I rip out that 3/5 here, I need to multiply this one by 2 and this one by 1. That's it. So that QED there. QED mean you prove the thing. That's a little rough. That was a little rough. What do you think about that question? So really start with the hardest question. What do you think about that question? Hence prove that OG and H lie on the straight line. Well, that one is easy. OG and H line on the straight line. Well, this is a common point, so that's one thing. I need to show that OG is equal to 3/5 of OH, which we just show. So it related by a scalar factor. You get 1 mark for that, and you get 1 mark for this. Related by a scalar factor. Why isn't it chat if you understand this completely? Related by a scalar factor just means that they're parallel. Hence, OG is parallel over T to OH. All right, people. It was a little rough question. It was a little rough. Now we just keep moving. Now we just keep going with the other questions. And yeah, good with that people didn't understand this question. Now we just keep going with the other questions and we'll come back to this one. I could explain this better by the first one, the first set of questions you could get the marks in that. Let's just do it all over really quickly and hope everybody understand. After that, we can just pretend like this didn't happen, right? We want to break with confidence 5 days before the exam. HF is, well, they said that this was split into 3 like this. So yeah, so HF, it's really easy to see that as 2U, right? Because the other 2U's go there. MF, where F is? MFF. Well, there's a U here, there's a U there, and there's a U there. 3 U's this way. And there's a V here because M is the midpoint. So V plus 3U. Why isn't each other here? Understand everything so far? So I'll leave this stream up. Y'all will be able to see everything. OH is V plus U. You're going an alternate route now. So OH is here to there. You just pick the alternate route that you know about. So 2V plus U. Notice 2V plus U is also there, right? And then this part that threw off everybody. They're basically asking you to find what OG is. OG. To find OG, we'll go from O to M, which we know is V, and then we need to go from M to G. And M to G, boy. M to G was we realized that M to G was 1/5 of the journey of M to F. That's what they gave us. I think they said MF is 5 mg, which means the same thing. So this is 1/5 of this whole thing. So the whole thing, the whole MF is the V plus 3U. We already write what MF is. So mg is 1/5 of V plus 3U. This is mg, right? And remember why we trying to find mg again? Because we want what OG is, the OG. So OG is OM. So you're going from O to M, then from M to G. So it's V plus that 1/5 of V plus 3U. This turns out to be, when you boil down everything, you get 6/5 of V plus 3/5 of U. Factorize out 3/5, you get the 2V plus U. And this is that. And then to prove that the line is straight line, well, they share a common point, G. So the vector OG and GH share a common point, right? G. So it means they at least pass through each other. And OG is parallel to GH because this is a scalar factor of that. So this is where exactly when you want to write. They share a common point. What shares a common point? The vector OG and the vectors GH. They share a common point. And OG is 3/5 of OH. So it's related by a scalar factor. The scalar factor is 3/5. Hence, they are parallel to each other. And I have videos on this. You could go and check out my videos on vectors that kind of explain why. But that's what the examiner is looking for. Let me move forward with the life to January 2010, question 14. Matrices. L and N are 2. Purple might work. Yeah, purple will work. L and N are 2 matrices where that evaluate L minus N squared. N squared is a little nasty. We had to do a little N squared thing there. I think it was 3214. That's L. They wanted L minus N squared. Was it that what they wanted? L minus N squared, right? So this is L. And N squared, I'll do it separately because it's just so ridiculous. Negative 1302 squared, meaning multiplied by itself, negative 1302. There's a way to do this on your calculator, but it might take longer than to actually just do it yourself. So this is a 2x2 matrix by a 2x2 matrix. These two numbers are the same, so you could multiply, and the resulting matrix will also be another 2x2 matrix. So those in SEA who watching this, welcome to your future. So this is going to be negative 1. This row by that row. Y'all know the matrix multiplication game. Maybe I could hit them a little colors just to make the thing a little fancy in the beginning. Negative 1 by negative 1 is 1. 3 by 0 is 0. That's this spot. Now to get this spot, you need to multiply the bottom row by, this is in the first column. So row by column, right? I have a whole video explaining this really slowly, but I mean it's the ending here. And I see now this is 0 by 0. 0 by negative 1 is 0, and 2 by 0 is 0. When you see zeros in these matrices, just laugh. Laugh off of them. And negative 1 by 3 is negative 3, and 3 by 2 is 6. And anybody get the answers yet? And what are we doing? 0 by 3 is 0. This is this row by that row. 0 by 3 is 0, and 2 by 2 is 4. It's so interesting how you don't hear your accent. Like I know I'm speaking with a Trinidadian accent, obviously, but I don't hear my accent. So 1, 0, 3, 4. That's n squared. So L minus n squared is 3214 minus 1304, because this is n squared. And what you feeling, boy? What you feeling? This song then correct? I didn't verify none of these things, and I just doing it as it come. Did you call it double check? The negative signs, you know. I find that looking good. I don't know about all you. I find that looking good. 2 parrot setup. Negative 1, 1, 0. All you get that? Hey, Luan Brown, Samantha, Luan Brown. Yeah, that good. I can get to you, right? So 2, negative 1. What do is like 3 minus 1, 2. 3 minus 1, 2. And then like 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Catching the vibe, and the other 2. Go ahead like that. You're getting 3 marks for that. The matrix M is given as that with x's in calculated values of x for which M is singular. Ha ha ha. They used to bring them like this back in the days. Or you could end up with one like this in exam. Already if you get one like this. So for a matrix to be singular, I'll be doing exams, so it can't be in a relationship. You have to minus UT. What Jovan Stapleton talking about, by? Yeah, so singular means the determinant is equal to 0. Determinant must be equal to 0. And we know the determinant is like AD minus BC when the matrix is in the form A, B, C, D. So in other words, it's this diagonal minus that diagonal. So we had M being what? XX312, was it? Yes, it was. So for singular, or for singularity, that song in real nice. Let me write it. For singularity, AD minus BC must be equal to 0, where it's in the form A, B, C, D, right? So therefore, I'm going to switch into another color now to show them, you know, that we're ready to perform. X times X. I feel like I just want to put X squared here one time. Oh gosh, somebody put 2X. You see? Somebody put X times X is 2X in the chat. Licks. So X times X is X squared minus 3 times 12, giving us a nice square number, 36. We love it. We love to see it. So X squared minus 36 is equal to 0. So X squared is equal to the square root of 36. Now we're in math, so we want to include plus or minus in the game. Yeah, and they did say values. Eh? These naughty little people said values. They did say values. Dun 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 dun. Sana, I am impressed. This you went a good lessons class, I could tell. Sana is one of my students. Yes, good job, Sana. So because it said values, when you bring across the 36, I kind of rush it there. Let me slow down. So x squared must be equal to the 36. When it comes across, it turns to positive. And then x must be equal to plus or minus the square root of 36. That's how that square root thing works in this game. So pay attention to that. Don't get taken by the enemy earlier. And then the square root of 36 is 6, but plus or minus. So x is 6 or x is negative 6, because negative 6 times negative 6 is still 36. How you all feel about that one? This one was doable. A geometric transformation R maps the point 2, 1 until negative 1, 2. Given that R is this thing, calculate the values of P and Q. Now, if you had the formula book for mathematics, you just scroll to that part that you would have had memorized. This was the draft edition I have here open. Yeah, and you'll be able to see which one is the correct. You know it now, you have it memorized, you go through all your formula thing. But I will show you. I'll show you how to do this question. So this is called matrix transformation. This topic. And it has all matrix transformations. I like to teach students that, it's like a derivative of the identity matrix. If you multiply anything by the identity matrix, you get it back. But like if I have a point here, okay, this is a little teaching moment, but it is a little teaching moment. So hold on. So like if I have a point and the point is, pay attention to this a little, 2, 3. And I multiply by the identity matrix. I'll get 1, 0, 0, 1 multiplied by 2, 3. I had to put it in this way, because these are 2 by 2 and they are 2 by 1, right? So you could multiply. What will happen is that you'll get back the same thing, and you'll get 1 by 2 is 2. 0 by 3 is 0. Then you get 0 by 2 is 0. And 1 by 3 is 3. So you get back 2, 3. That's the whole power of the identity matrix. Why isn't each chatting for you good so far? But when you begin to dope the identity matrix with little negative signs and switch around the ones and maybe change it to 2, and all of a sudden you start to do transformation thingamajigs. So like if I change this to negative, then this number here would have been negative 2. And now it will be negative 2, 3, which is actually over here. So I would have done. So therefore, if this is negative, there's a translation in the y-axis. You all understand how these translation games come about. And if I didn't do that and I made this one negative, I would end up eventually with a negative here on the 3, which would send the point over here, which is a transformation or a reflection in the x-axis. If I have the 2 negative, I'll end up over here, which is a transformation in the line y is equal to negative x. And all of this, I did this you just look up matrix transformation, Kerwin Spring on YouTube, and you get to see all the theory in this. But that's not what they're asking us. This is just a little introduction. This is how this is this way. They're kind of giving you a clue already. Very likely, one of them is going to have a negative sign, but both of them are going to be 1. I can tell you that to begin with. Did they say calculate? Calculate the values of P and Q. They say calculate. I mean, you can just state it if you know your work. It has a few ways to do it. R maps this point onto that point. So it's like the 0 PQ 0 maps this point to that point. What was this point? This point was 2, 1. What was that point? That point was negative 1, 2. So when I multiply this by this, I'm supposed to get that. Why is in chat if you'll understand? Now, there's a few ways to do it. You could go and do all kind of madness and get this. I think the best way is to multiply and compare coefficients to show a nice little calculative method. Here's what I mean. This by this must be equal to that. That's how multiplications go. That's how the thing does go. So 2 times 0 or 0 times 2, but I like to put the 2 first, plus p times 1 must be equal to -1, which boils down to p is equal to -1 because this is 0 and this is p. 1 times p is p. And then, what the hell? The screen blink and all your end this now. Q times 2 plus 0 times 1 must be equal to 2. So 2q is equal to 2, so q is equal to 1. And we just solved the entire question. Free marks. Why are we saying why? That just means yes for the uninitiated. That just means yes. So this is a method that relies on a topic called comparing coefficients and equivalent matrices. Or equivalent matrices. Not really comparing coefficients so much because you're just solving for one unknown for each line. Yeah, so you just multiply it out and you get vibe pretty. It's to save you understand. So you know what the results for SEC coming now, but I don't know any results is transformation matrices coming this year. Right? Study everything is the name of the game. Them pure maths physics people get tired. A translation T is RS maps the point. No, this one is a little different. This is what we call a translation vector because it's a vector. So this just slide in the point. It's not multiplication, it's an addition. So you have 5, 3, and you have the vector RS is equal to 1, 1. So it plain to see that it's subtracting off some of the 5 and S subtracting off some of the 3. So it's kind of easy to see what R and S is here, right? Why isn't each other here? This was a really nice question and kind of decoding what's going on here with transformation matrices. So RS must be equal to you bring across this kind of way now. So it must be equal to 1 minus 5 and then 3 minus 1 minus 3. R is -4. This one is -2. You must understand your directed numbers. Okay, that making sense to everybody? Rate how much you understand everything so far out of 10. If there's a topic that you're really struggling, then just look up the topic on YouTube. Everything just blinking really weird right now. All right, so we've seen high numbers and we've seen some low numbers. Let's go on to the next question. We're practicing vectors and matrices here. You could come back and take it in and just turn it on and like play in your sleep and hope for the best and thing too. A and B are two by two matrices. What making all our noise by? Let's close that, yes. Let's give me a little second to make sure the system not compromised. Okay. A and B are two by two matrices such that A and B are that find AB, determine B inverse, the inverse of B, given that so this is a straightforwards. This is the usual. So A and B are two by two matrices. Find AB, so we need to multiply A by B. Everything here needs to go on silent mode, boy. We need to multiply A by B, no problem. We can do that. Jeez and ages, Lord Father. 5, -2, -2, 1. Multiply. Y'all work along this with me because you know things could happen. 5 minus 4, 10 minus 10. What are we looking at here? -2 plus 2, and then -4 plus 5. I did an example like this already, so I kind of just doing it. Hey, what is this? Is this the identity matrix? Which is why they say determine B inverse, the inverse of B, and they only get 1 mark for that because it turned out to be the identity matrix. So therefore, since AB is equal to the identity matrix, B inverse is A. When you multiply a matrix by its inverse, you get so the inverse of B is A, which is 1, 2, 2, 5. That was nice. You love to see it. Given that this is occurring, and by the way, we already know that the inverse is that. Write XY as a product of 2 matrices. This is question from question land. So if we need to write XY as a product of 2 matrices, we need to bring this matrix across, and as you bring that across, it will turn into its inverse, which we know is that 1, 2, 2, 5 by 2, 3. Rate out of 10. How much you catching? How this going? Why isn't it chatting for you catching it? And then hence, so that is 2 marks there already. This is an easy 2 marks, bro. And then hence calculate the values of XY. So we just have a little multiplication to do here. When you multiply, it's be row by column, right? That's what I do just now really quickly. So it's like 2 plus 6, and then, right, 1 by 2 is 2, and then 2 by 3 is 6. And then 2 by 2 is 4, and 5 by 3 is 15. So you end up with 8, 19. And I good with that. So they literally say calculate the values of X and Y. So it's nice to come and literally write it out for them like that. Good things. So we have 438 people here. Let's tell them how the likes looking. The diagram not drawn to scale. We still in 2010? Oh no, we was in January 2010 before. We're in June 2010 now. The diagram below not drawn to scale because I would have finished this, but I have a class. The diagram below not drawn to scale shows triangle JKL, M and N are points, and we back to this vectors game earlier. Pay attention. M and N are points, and JK and JL respectively, such that JM is 1. Copy the diagram and show the points M and N, right? So I could start up 18 one time. J to M is 1/3 of the way from J to K. Fine. That's M over there. I feel very proud about that. J to N is 1/3 of the way from J to... So the same thing happening here. I am also proud of this. And I got 2 marks for that. Niceness. Given that JM is U and JN is V, I can put that in another color. So this way is U, but this way here is V. Write in terms of U and V an expression for JK. So JK must be 3U because it's 3 of J to M's. Marks for run. If you're seeing the screen blurry, you need to change the setting on your YouTube. I really need to have a disclaimer somewhere there in the background now running, so anybody who come in, you don't be like, why are so many people watching a blurry screen and jump back out? I show you that people come in, see it blurry and jump back out and then say nothing. Stress. MN and KL. MN. M to N. Ooh, M to N. Ooh, MN means you need to go down here and then forward there. So it's like you're going negative U plus V. Yeah. They wasn't ready for the level of chakra. MN, you go down this way, and you go back that way, right? So that's I feel good about that. I feel like I could put my name behind that. And then KL, K to L. K to L, you just need to go down all of this and then back up all of that. So it's like you go down 3 U's and then you come back up 3 V's. But if you're going down the U's, they need to be negative when I'm cooking. Let's put negative there. Negative before we put we name there. Yeah. How are we looking? How are we looking there? Performance. That's performance. That's marks. The matter give you marks. Using your findings in B part 2, deduce 2 geometrical relationships between KL and MN. Well, I know there's coming with that. Well, 2 geometrical relationships just mean, you know what I mean? It means we need to say that they're parallel. They're parallel because there's a common factor. So KL. So a geometrical relationship is that KL is 3 times as large as MN. Because there's a little 3 factor there. So that is 1. And the next geometrical relationship is that KL is parallel to MN. I put this here. I see people using this in textbook and thing. I don't know if that is like standard CXC notation. So you need to write all that. KL is parallel to MN. Because related by a scalar factor of 3 where KL is equal to 3 MN. Yeah, you want to be a little complete and thing now, boy. So somebody say collinear. Mr. Meme say collinear. If you say collinear, they're going to eat away your mark, bro. They're not collinear. Collinear means line on the same line. These things, the line, one going so, them will never meet, at least in Euclidean geometry. They're not going to meet. Them lines parallel lines don't meet. Yeah, we can do some multiple choice down the way, man. Let's go on to the next question. Under a matrix transformation, M, the points V and W are mapped such that and this is the matrix. Let me see what you're doing. It's swapping the numbers and it's changing the sign on this number, determine the values of A, B, and C, and D. So once again, there are a few things we can do. We could set up 2 equations and work out that simultaneously. It looking like they want us to do a lot of things. We kind of know the answer already. We know that it's going to be looking like this, and one of them is going to have a negative. We know that because we study matrix transformations with Kerwin Springer already. We know how the thing is go, right? Very likely is what? Which one? Maybe this one have the negative. I don't know. Maybe that one had the negative, so that this can end up in the negative. Yeah, some so. But how to show them this to collect the 3 marks for sure? How to show them this to collect the 3 marks for sure? Now, I've seen some people saying slow down and thing. It had different styles of teaching. I do this style of teaching I'm doing here is like a run through past paper questions. When I'm doing the slow breakdown lives and thing, some people wasn't here because you really want to break down maths and thing 6 days before the exam. That is what you want. All right, and I'm not teasing you for procrastinating, but yes, I did a lot of breaking down of all of these concepts and thing, and there are even videos on the channel now. But what I'm doing is just running through past paper questions. But I'm still going at a pretty slow pace, so you could still gain stuff from it. But I mean, I'm not going to teach. I can't teach the whole everything, and just otherwise we need the whole year, which is What we don't have, we have days. Okay, so determine the values of A, B, C, and D in this matrix. We already just did that, but we want to get a little method thing to work it out. So maybe we can do like A, B, C, D multiplies by 3, 5 to give us 5, negative 3. Let me give them a whole simultaneous now. Maybe you can do a simultaneous. And A, B, C, D multiplies by 7, 2 to give us 2, negative 7. I love that. I love it. I think I love it. I feel like I could work with that. This is overdoing it by Cohen, or this good? Let me see. From this one, we could get the equation 3a plus 5b is equal to, this times this plus this times this is equal to that. Equal to 5. And from this one, so I just dealing with the tuples, a times 7 and b times 2. 7a plus 2b is equal to 2. Why isn't it chat if you understand that? You could also get the equation with C and D, but let me stay with the A and B first. Solve that, then do the C and D. Solve that, move on. Right? So this is equation 1. This is equation 2. I feel like this is just unnecessary. Anyhow, so what we can do now, boy? Why these things need to multiply by each other, boy? Why couldn't it be simpler, boy? From equation 1, if I multiply equation 1 by 2, I'll get 6a plus 10b is equal to 10. So equation 1 times 2, right? I'm multiplying by 2 because I'm doing a kind of simultaneous equation trick here. And if I multiply this by 5, I will get 35a plus 10b is equal to 10. What does this mean? This just means a is equal to 0. Then substitute that back there, b is equal to 1. This was really overdoing it, boy. Okay, as a simultaneous equation, you'll find a is equal to 0 here, because when you subtract the 2, it don't matter where you get in. It don't matter where I get here. I get 0 there. This turns to 0. I'm feeling like I'm rushing it a little too much. So 10b minus 10b is 0. 10 minus 10 is 0. And 6 minus 35 is negative 29a. This means a is 0. It don't matter. Something plus 0 give you 0. Well, then this must be 0 too. A must just be 0. And then when I substitute a back in this equation, hence 3 by 0 plus 5 by b is equal to 5. This means b is 1. Right? I mean, you could just put this in your calculator, simultaneous equation, and solve that simultaneous equation in your calculator, get the values of a and b. You need to do the same thing for c and d. Let me calculate that way. Let me just show you how to use simultaneous equations on your calculator, in case you don't know. So you go on mode, select equation, press 1, put in the values 3, 5, 5. You could always come back and watch this, because I know it has some people say, oh gosh, do it again. You could always come back and watch it. Don't worry, I'll leave the stream up. So I put in all the coefficients there in order, like in a matrix. And then I press equal. X is 0, y is 1. X in this case is a, y is that. So you get the two values here. Likewise, we can also get two equations such that 3c plus 5d is equal to negative 3, and 7c plus 2d is equal to negative 7. If we do the same multiply by 10 things, for each of the equation, we will multiply this by 2, multiply this by 5, I want to see, to get the coefficients to match up. elimination method, you will get multiply this by what? By 2. So 6c plus 10d is equal to negative 6. As equation 1, we go call that equation 1, pretend them the equation in exists. And multiply this by 5, you get 35c plus 10d is equal to negative 35. What does this mean? This means we're going to get, what we're going to do, we're going to subtract. We're going to get negative 29c is equal to positive 29. 6 minus 35 is positive 29. This means c is equal to negative 1. And when we substitute the c back in this equation, we will get d being equal to 0. You'll solve that through and you'll get d equal to 0. So hence, A was 0, B was 1, C was negative 1, and D was 0, which is what we knew all along, because we know we transformation matrices. So there's a way to what did I do? There's a way to show working with this whole thing, simultaneous equations. There's one way to do it, to show the values of A, B, C, and D there. State the coordinates of Z such that Z, X, Y under the transformation M. So we know that M is now 0, 1, negative 1, 0. And we want the coordinates of Z that did this. And this is state, so you could just write it. You want to swap. And let's take a little look at this. This one, switch sign. The 7 here, switch sign. So this one, when it go across there, it's supposed to switch sign. So it means that this started off as a negative. Why isn't it chat if you understand that? Yo, some question come with elephant in English V. Somebody saying to slow down, so slow down, slow down. Let's talk about it again. I realize this could be a little tough for students. So Z is being transformed into Z prime. This means this went to that. It's using the same style here. But they're trying to trick you. You start off at 3, 5 in this, and you end up as 5, negative 3. So if I just knew this and I trying to go back, I know I need to switch it, and wherever this was, will switch sign and become positive if it was negative. If it was negative, it had to become positive. If it was positive, it had to become negative, right? So this is the result here. This is like the ending, 5, 1. And if I'm going back to what it was, I know it will be 1, 5, but this has to be negative. That has to be negative. Now, if you're not seeing the board clearly, you need to increase the settings, turn off the up the resolution on YouTube. A poem called Elephant came. Well, yes. 2 years ago, something on elephant came as well, but I think that was in English. Describe fully the geometric trans. Yeah, there's another way to do this. There is. We can do the reverse transformation. Yeah. Describe fully the geometric transformation M. Oh, they finally reached the good part. So let's see what happened in here. Let's say we had the point 3, 5. 3, 5, that's this. We ended up on 5, negative 3. We ended up over here. Wow. 5, negative 3. This is 5, negative 3. We started off on 3, 5, and we ended up on 5, -3. What kind of transformation is that? Let's say we had 7, 2. 7, 2 is over here. We ended up on 2, -7. 2, -7 will be like here. What kind of transformation is that? Anyone? What style of transformation is that? What? Describe that transformation fully. If you didn't describe it fully, you're lost in marks. It is a rotation, 1 mark, maybe. Hey, Jonathan have it. I didn't see it there, boy, Johnny boy. It is a rotation. It is clockwise. Now, you're missing one thing, Johnny. You still didn't get the full marks. 90 degrees. Sana just killing it right now. About the origin. So what I realizing in the live right now, I thought I could do like a run through. But I realized that a lot of students here need a full, a full sweat. Really the slow full explanation. So like I thought I could just do a run through and a refresher and everybody, thing. But we have some people here need some good work to put on over the weekend. Samantha, if you're not seeing the screens clearly, you need to increase your resolution. You all understand this? Why it's you all understand why it's a rotation? And why it's 90 degrees? About the origin, you need to state all of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. To get full marks. And this is just what this is. A rotation clockwise 90 degrees about the origin. So they keep going. I remember when I started this live, people was like, this easy, nah, let we do some other topic. But then I've seen some people really fighting out here. OP and OR are position vectors with respect to the origin. So we back to vectors. Gosh, I need that disclaimer. Anytime anybody come and say they're not seeing it clearly, just tell them to know to change their resolution, right? On YouTube. P is the 0.27 and PR is 4, -3, right in the form AB, blah, 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 blah. OP. Hey, let me tell you what P is. P is the 0.27. So if P is 27, the legend says that the position vector is just this written vertically. So OP must be 27. Beautiful. OR now, we don't know what OR is, but we know that PR is 4, -3. And the triangular law says that PR must be equal to the second thing minus the first thing. That's always kind of memorized, right? Everybody know this? All you know this? All it is I run through now. This I run through. I had to run it. I had to keep tracking, otherwise we're gonna never finish. I gotta stop and explain one question for a half an hour. I had to keep moving. But there is an explanation for this on this channel. You could just search Kerwin Springer vectors and just learn the whole thing if you're struggling. So this OR was, we don't know what OR is. That's what we're trying to find. OP was 27 and PR is 4, -3. You just rearrange the suit. Therefore, you realize that OR is, when you bring this across, it will add, right? 4, -3 plus 2, 7, 6, 4. Anybody get that? Anybody get that? Jarrell says 2-4, but I feeling like I beg to differ. PR is OR minus OP. This maths exam going on Italy like a train, boy. All right, so Calvin, Darrell, Calvin, yeah, they're going good. They're going good. Yeah, making sense. We did that. Been there, done that. A point S has the coordinates this. Find RS. This is still part of this whole thing? Okay. So we have OR. And since we know OR, this means that R itself is at 6,4. R is the 0.64. So OR is 6,4. We also know that S has this. So that means like OS is 14 negative 12. You probably done seen where I'm going with this. Let me write it back up here. What G's and H's. So that is OS and OR. So if you want to find RS, you do the same triangular thing where you say OS minus OR and you have 14 negative 2 minus 6, 4, 12 negative 6. That's RS. Why is in the chat if you're all okay with that? And now we need to show that P, R, and S are collinear. Well, we know that PR is 4 negative 3. And maybe I made a mistake. This should be 8. Yeah. Is 8. Well done, Jaden. Thank you. Thank you, boy, Jaden, boy. And Daryl. Yeah, so 14 minus 6 is not 12. It's 8. And yeah, so an RS is 8 negative 6. So comparing the two of them, we realize that there's a scalar factor of 2. So PR is actually 2 times 2 PR will give us RS. RS is 2 times PR. So the same is always be the collinear thing is always be the same thing. If you see in the picture blurry, just change the settings on your YouTube. Raise the settings to whatever you feel like, 1080p. So scalar factor. I just start using OBS because like it naturally just turning this blurry, this program that I'm using for people when they come on. So the scalar factor of 2. So it's the same thing. Or you can use a scalar multiple like Michelle is saying, but you just need to know is to say that RS is a scalar multiple of PR, or related by a scalar multiple of PR. Or it has a scalar factor of 2, and they share a common point. So you must show this. So and you must say this is meaning they're parallel. Hence they are parallel. And then you see that they share the common point R. Because they share the common point R, it means that they are collinear. Let me just talk about that because I think some people are the wrong idea. If 2 lines are parallel, we just proved that they're parallel. They'll be related by a scalar factor. So let me say that this one was 3, 2. Then this one maybe is 6, 4. So you see it related by a scalar factor of 2. Most of the time in CXC, this kind of make the scalar factor a little confusing to see. So sometimes they might have stuff like U2V and this on a negative 2V or something like that. Or this one may be U minus 2V or something like that. And this one is U on, so what I want to write by half u. All right, I'm in the wrong order. Half u minus v, and this one over here is u minus 2v, which means they have a scalar factor because this is still twice this. I multiply this by 2, so it'll be a little tricky to see sometimes the scalar factor. So that just means they're parallel. But if they share a common point now, like if I'm saying two lines are parallel, that this line is parallel to this line, and I'm saying that this point is the same point, well, then it means I need to take this line and stick it on there because it's the same point. So that's how you show collinearity. If the lines are parallel and share a common point, collinear. That's the final frontier in vectors. All right, rate how much you understand out of 10. Once again, this is not how I teach, like if I have to teach the whole thing from scratch, right? And I have the whole thing from scratch taught on the channel. And I mean, I was doing this whole year at my class. So some of the people they seen just shooting all the answers here and they're like, maybe I don't know how they're doing that so fast. They was studying whole year. Determine the inverse of the matrix. This. So the matrix 3, 5, 2, 4. And you have to determine the inverse of that. So that's a straightforward thing. 3, 5, 2, 4. Wow, who make up this matrix? Why 2, 3, 4, 5? Determine the inverse of this. So let's call it n. Or whatever letter you're feeling. Let m be equal to that. Therefore, the determinant of m, and it's in the form a, b, c, d. The determinant of m is going to be equal to AD minus BC. So it's going to be equal to 3 by 4 minus 2 by 5. So that's 2. That's 12 minus 10. And then the adjoint of m is going to be equal to, you swap these two. So you put the d and the a, and you switch the sign here. So you put a negative sign to indicate that we're switching signs. How you all feel about that? So this is going to be 4, 3 here, and negative 2, negative 5 there. Okay, so therefore, the m inverse, or the inverse of the matrix, is going to be a half of 4, negative 2, negative 5, 3. There you go. Cohen Springer matrices. Look it up. Now, you could include this half into it to get 2, meaning half of 4 is 2, half of negative 2 is negative 1, and you just need to put these over 2 because they're currently simplified and you don't want to put decimals. The matrix is the inverse. I kind of leave out a line here with the formula. The inverse of a matrix is always 1 over the determinant by the adjoint. So that is you there. That is you for your 4 marks there. Well done, Samantha. And we keep on moving. We keep on moving. Wait, it had more. Wait, we didn't just do this? It's look really repetitive here. Transformation M maps the point R and T onto this and that, such that this went to this. They're doing the same swap adapts thing here. It switched this one and changed the sign, so we already know it's a repeat. So we already know that B is negative 1 and A is 1. But to determine the value, we could write it out. So we could write it out like this. 0 A B 0, so A, multiplied by 7 2 gave us 2 negative 7. This means when we multiply this by this to get this, we get 0 plus 2A is equal to 2. Therefore, A is equal to 1. And then you will get 7B plus 0 is equal to negative 7. Therefore, B is equal to negative 1. We do this already. So, Savai, Our next cut boss by Call of Duty Soldier. All right. So determine the value of A and B. Describe fully the transformation. Once again, we know that this transformation is B sending things like that is a transformation, a rotation. You all remember all the things I need to say? Let me see if you all remember all the things I need to say, the 4 things. What's the 4 things you need to say about this describing fully this thing? It is a rotation. A man say 1, but I kind of just write that too. Calvin being extra special today. Yes, you could see that by Calvin, but don't do that in your exam. Don't be technical with them all day. You never know if somebody correcting your paper who don't know all that fancy thing. So he just went the other direction, 270 degrees anti-clockwise about the origin. So it rotates clockwise about origin or about the 0.00, and the rotation is 90 degrees. So center of rotation, the direction, and the angle. And you need to say the rotation. Here we go again, more vectors. How do you feel about that? We now on 2011 June. So what I could do is take this worksheet and dump it in the Student Hub Discord server. So I could just vibe with this. Once I get the chance after my maths class. WXYV is a parallelogram in which VY is equal to that, VW is equal to that, S is the point. Wow, these vectors questions could make you zone out, boy, because I kind of zone in out reading this, and as a whole maths teacher. So imagine for a student. WXYV is a parallelogram. All right, I understand that. Yes, Samantha, I will send it to the maths group. VYAVWB. All right, so there's talking things that are already drawn. S is a point on WY such that WS is SY. This diagram is oh no, I'm not going to say it's realized, but it's not. WS is like 1 and SY is like 2 parts. So it means they're dividing it into 3 parts. I take it back diagram. Sorry for disrespecting you. It was all right. It was all right. It's like it have 3 parts here. We seeing that. We ready for the questions now, Alia? We ready for the questions now. So what is WY? Been there, done that. So WY going straight across there. We don't know that, but we know that we can go down this and go up this to get the way. Now notice this arrow pointing so and this arrow pointing so. So WY is, we had to go backwards, and when we're going backwards to this, it'll turn negative. Negative B plus A. Tisha, Darrell, Memes, Speedy, Ethan, all you doing the right thing. Keep it up. What's the next question? WS. So WS is 1/3 of the way WY. So WS is 1/3 of the way to WY. I could take this and as a teacher, I taking this, but I'm gonna spread it out a little bit. You could say 1/3 B plus 1/3 A. Don't forget the negative sign from this one. So that's WS is 1/3 of the way. Another thing you might see is normally we write this like A minus B instead of negative B plus A to make the thing look good. Like what Samantha doing here? Well done, Samantha. Boom, bam. What next? SX, SX. SX. Wow, SX is this one. To go SX, we need to go tired boy. To go SX, we need to go. We can't go that way, obviously, we don't know that. So we need to go down this one and then up this one. We already know that this is A. We know what WS is, and this is WS. This one is better. So SX is like the reverse of WS, so I'll put negative, plus forward this way. Why is in the chat if you understand that? It's like you go back down WS and then you go that way. So SX is going to be negative 1/3 of negative B plus E plus E. So this is going to be negative, and a negative is a positive. This is going to be 1/3 B. Negative by that is negative 1/3 E plus E. This could simplify. Let me bring it over here and examine it a little closer. So if we look here, this and this could have a little interaction. If you take away a third from something, you'll end up with 2/3. So 1/3 B plus 2/3 is good for me. Rate out that 10 how much you understand that, or you need to revise it. How are you feeling about that? Once again, it's a run through, it's not class, it's not me breaking it down to the fine detail. Otherwise, I would just spend the whole class just breaking down one point. It's a run through. I'm just doing it, and you had to take that. I've seen some 10s though. I've seen some 10s, seen some 5s, seen some 7s, some 8s. Lovely, lovely, lovely. R is the midpoint of VW. Prove that RS and X are collinear for 3 marks, Lord Father. There's always do this, you know. So R here, and you want to show that all these points collinear. So the important thing to get is RS, because we already have SX. Understand? So we need to get something for RS. RS is simple enough, because RS is the same as where SX? SX is over there. All right, good. We have SX, which is that. We're trying to find RS, right? RS is the same as RW. Are you following me? It's like we go the RW and then we go the WS. So RS is R to W, then W to S, which we know. We know both of them. R to W is a half of B, and W to S is this thing. Well, this one to be specific. Well, let me write out this one time. Which is negative 1/3 B plus 1/3 E. So a positive and a negative is still a negative, so then I'm going to change the price of milk. So it's like if you have a half minus 1/3. All you know how much is a half minus 1/3? It's 1/6. A half minus 1/3 is 1/6. Fine. The man say a half minus 1/3 is 1/6, so 1/6 B. And the reason we're doing this is because I have a B there and have a B there. So half B minus 1/3 B plus 1/3 E. You may not be seeing it now. Some of the top students here, some of the big dogs, them seeing it already. Or maybe you're not seeing it. So let me put it on a fresh, clean sheet of paper here. Digital paper. And you can examine what's going on there, right? So that's RS. And over here in corner B, we have SX. And they say prove that they're collinear, meaning SX are collinear. Show that they collinear. Well, you're seeing it, and you're seeing it. This is like 1/3. So this is more like watch this. This is more like, I'm going to say just now, 2/6 1/3 is 2/6. So this I multiply by 2. The factor is not a third, the factor is 2. You can see it in the diagram. RS, I need to multiply by 2 to get SX. Watch memes, boss handling the scene. Well done. And I tell you, these scalar factors come kind of tie up sometime with these fractions, and they know all you have issues with fractions, so they could bring it in your exam. So therefore, you want to do this question, practice it. I mean, I'm showing you where the question come from. Every time I do it, I show you all where the questions come from. This is June 2011 question 11C. This is now something Kerwin Springer make up on it. This is what came in our exam before. So then after that, you just write your essay. You write your essay. Sx is equal to 2 times Rs related by a scalar factor. I like scalar factor these days instead of using the multiple. Scalar factor of 2. Therefore, Sx is parallel to Rs since they share as 1 point, and since they share a common point S, they lie. Since they share a common point S, then R, S, and X are collinear. As the essays want to write every time. We do this 3 or 4 times today already in the short space of time. So I'm going to do one more question. One more question. Time running out. One more question. Sunday, I could come in with something Sunday. Sunday, I could do a next session. So I've seen some people saying they don't understand. So if you don't understand, I'm going to show you what to do. If you search vectors Kerwin Springer on Google, you didn't need to search it on YouTube. Click that. So I was planning to go ahead and I take you through the ideas. Let's try to go across 5 and then go basics. Go through the basics. Understanding what vectors is all about. Basics, just basics. Multiplying by a scalar. Then, hey, look at live now. I could click on that and get a nice feedback. Maybe talk to myself and thing. Anyhow, then you go on to this one. The triangle law. And then all you feel is joke. Go and watch it. Then you go and watch me do some past papers. Right, so let's break down. You see them 3 videos I just clicked? Go and watch it. You will get stronger in vectors. You'll grab some marks. Maybe you might grab all the marks. And then watch some of the longer videos I have on vectors, like this one. Now, vectors is a thing must come. Must come. I don't know if you're watching this 10 years in the future, must come. Unless something really weird going on with the syllabus up then. So you just must learn all of this that I show you. You just have to, otherwise you're just going to lose marks. All right, bro. Let me keep the thing going. Last question. A word to the wise is sufficient. So this one bring a whole diagram. The diagram below shows 2 position vectors, OA and OB. Position vectors just mean it start on the origin, right? And then it end up over there. It started on the origin. Started from the bottom. Now we're here. There, and then we end up there, there, and there. So I know, I'm not teaching it breakdown, but this was meant to be a run-through video. You could always come back and watch it. And for those of you who just come in, if it's showing blurry, you need to change the settings on your YouTube, right? Write as a column vector in the form XY OA. Okay. Are you sure? Are you sure, boy? So OA, you just find the points. OA, 3, hey, -1, 3. Now let me make a little baby mistake there, boy. So you just make it vertical now, -1, 3. That's it. Oh, zoom up into it a little bit. No problem. OB, same thing. 5, 1. You'll end up with 5, 1 like that. This one was -1, 3. And as then you go back -1, then you go up 3. Or you could use the coordinates and just figure it out. So BA, this is you want our vectors to come like this. This is a vector question because the toughest thing here is the triangle law by OA minus OB. OA minus OB. So OA is what is OA by? -1. -1, 3 is be here in these noises, right? -1, 3. And OB is 5, 1. -6, 2. I do something wrong. No, let's just plain answers from before. Why will you get for this one? Let me check it. BA, you go up. Okay, BA. Oh yeah, BA. BA, you go backwards 6. And you also need to go, after you go backwards 6, you need to go positive up 2. So that's correct. That's correct. Yeah. And then, given that G, okay, they didn't just leave it there. So let's see if they're going and confuse the thing now. But it's 2, 1 mark thing. Given that G is the midpoint of the line AB, write as a column vector in the form XY, BG, and OG. This is a sweetener. So all you need to know is now to find midpoint of our line here. What's the midpoint? Midpoint. To me, you could kind of see the midpoint too. It's 2, 2. But if you don't know, you could just use the midpoint formula. The midpoint formula looks like this. X1 plus X2 over 2, Y1 plus Y2 over 2. I'm not writing too neat. I could fix this a little better. Y1 plus Y2 over 2. Yeah. And you add up the coordinates and just divide it now. This one, it's on. Oh my gosh. This thing fighting me, boy. X1 plus X2 over 2, Y1 plus Y2 over 2. It's like you're finding the mean, the meaners. What's the X coordinate there? What's the X coordinate there? I feel like we do this already. 5 plus -1 over 2. And 1, let's go another 3 plus 1 over 2. So you end up at 4 over 2 and 4 over 2. You end up at 2, 2. So the midpoint is 2, 2. And then they wanted you to find, after I find the midpoint, they wanted you to find BG and OG. B to G. B to G is half of B to A, right? Because if I go all the way back, and the reason I'm saying that is because I already found B to A. I know I find it. It's not right. It's not written here, but I know I find it somewhere. Oh, look at it. Look at it. So B to A was -6, 2. So B to, what's that midpoint? What do you call any midpoint? Again, G. So therefore, B to G is equal to half of B to A -3, 1. So you just go back 3 and you go up 1. That making sense. That making sense. And OG, we already find the point 2, 2, you know. So if we already find what G is, OG is just that. 2, 2. All right, so we ended on the easy one and we started on the hardest one. Maybe the hardest one. We started on the hardest one, we ended on an easy one. So Sunday I'll come back and I'll do some more. Maybe I'll do some more vectors and matrices self. I know you all have other questions there I want me to do, but we only reach what is this 2012 or something? 2012 January. After this, we have 2012 Jan here to do, and then keep going. So I can't give you a lot of time exact, but I feel now 1 o'clock. Feeling now 1 is a good vibes. 1, you get time to do a lot there. So I will always post it on my Instagram. Now keep in mind these revision sessions are more for like if you're at about a 60% level in maths and above. Otherwise, you need to go back to my theory videos, or maybe you need to do maths next year and just join my class. So let me just put the number. If we have any form for students as well, join my maths classes, 1868. 2 of them already filled. We're filling up the 3rd one, and that might just be it. So those stick. This is also the number you can use to get the multiple choice booklet, which is like all the different multiple choice that comes in exams. Yeah, prepare for that. And any other things, your mathematics formula book, add maths formula book. So I'm going to send this worksheet that I'm doing. I'm going to send this to my class group. I'm going to also send it in my free Discord channel. You can find all of those by just going on the Student Hub Instagram. Student Hub Instagram, check the link in the bio. All right, love and blessings. These classes, yes, these classes are paid classes. Love and blessings, people. Easy. Hold it down. I'm from Trinidad. Oh, there's somebody from India accent. The home of Brian Lara, cricket. Yeah, we must gain a little bearings there by memes, boss boy. Must gain a little bearings. You must gain a bearings, Samantha. Don't worry yourself. We must touch our bearings before the exam. That's a must. Later.